Amazing.
Yeah, it's been pretty great.
Yeah,
that's why I tell engineers. I tell from day one, I'm like, start paying attention to the actors, because maybe you're just a behind the scenes guy and you're not interested in that, and that's great. But if you're in any way interested in that, like start now, like really focusing on what they're doing. And that's kind of what happened to me. I thought I was a behind the scenes guy, and then when I started working at Funimation, I was like, you know what? I think I might want to be in front of the camera or behind the mic, as it were.
I want to do that. Can I just randomly come in and just watch a session?
Yeah.
Heck yeah!
Come in whenever you want.
Seriously. Be like, yo, what you got today? Okay, I'll probably text you and be like, can I come in? That's really cool.
Yeah, no.
The set kind of changed right before it had to be themed. A lot of people started to theater, but now it's just people who are fans that are like, maybe started in drama class randomly, but then kind of jumped into it.
It's interesting because yes and no. Because back in the day, it was just like we need actors, so it was UNT grads or just people who did acting classes and stuff like that would come in. But then now it is more accessible, and as people have been watching and kind of training up in different ways, it does allow us to kind of reach out and get people from different walks of life. But our acting pool has it's like huge now, so it's actually it's easier but also harder at the same time.
Yeah.
Back then they used to grab random people for like video games, and that would sound unimportant sometimes.
No comment.
Back in the 90s it was completely different.
Oh yeah.
Money was a factor.
Yeah. That's how you get Chris Sabat being every voice in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, right.
But they all sounded great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Lord.
Taco is, holding some things up and lets them out, and then she.
Okay. I love your hair, by the way. Sorry.
What her skill
interesting about Mahoro
and that's what I love, right? About what we were talking earlier about and sometimes hard to remember. But these are kids in high school. And
I'll go first. Mahoro is adorable. She more looks up to Bakugo, and she also kind of looks like him too. That's kind of cool. I was like, that's adorable. She's this fiery little kid who's very protective of her brother because they lost their mom, and so their dad's gone, and so she feels like she has to take care of the family. And though she's not a huge fan of heroes, she wants. I think she kind of secretly wants to be like Katsuma's hero in a way, just to make sure he doesn't do anything crazy or nothing bad happens to him, because he's all she's got besides their dad, who's not there a lot. So she's just this little fiery little minx. She is. But I love how stubbornly affectionate she is, because she's just doing this all just to protect what she doesn't want to lose.
Katsuma he's kind of the Pollyanna of the show. Like he is eternally optimistic about everyone around him and the role that heroes play in his world. And it's interesting with you to talk about how you have to step into that hero role because our parents aren't there. And I'm wondering, now probably would have been good to know, like when I made the film. I'm wondering now, today, before the premiere tonight, if perhaps his infatuation with heroes is like a replacement thing, I don't know, and I don't know how much of that was really necessary in the making, but that probably has something to do with it, because he really is such a. Please join.
Who's Pollyanna?
I'm old. I'm old, but
No.
Oh, I am. Eternally optimistic. Watch it. It's a movie from like the 60s, maybe?
Cool.
Really like eternally optimistic character. Yeah.
So what was the most rewarding voice of your characters?
Getting to be a part of the world.
Yeah.
Getting to join this cast and something that's already so well established. Like, it's really fun to work on shows that have so much Yeah, and already established chemistry between the other characters because you kind of get to roll with it and just go along with what they've already built. It's nice. You're not building the world.
Yeah, like the pressure's not on you; it's already done.
Right.
So
it's great.
Like, and especially being able to be along with awesome talent, cats like Kyle Phillips here, you know, like Lucy Christian, Justin Reiner, like everybody, and it's like, oh my god, again, I don't want to freak out, but this is like, it's really fun, and I'm really excited to be part of this world. And like you said, it's already built, and it's a huge honor to be in this awesome story. It makes me so happy. I feel like a Disney princess right now. I'm so happy.
This guy's a big fan of your part before you joined, and how is it just have the verbal
admittedly, I had not seen the show beforehand. I have a 2-year-old son, and I have kind of been in and out of working for a while, so I knew it was very popular. It was the big hero show right now, but I admittedly did not know very much about it when I auditioned. So it's been really fun to get to catch up and learn about it and watch more.
Yes, I am a fan of the show. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. No, yeah, it's great. It's funny because me and my roommate are going through because she hasn't seen it, and I've just started her getting her anime. She's a huge fan of Vegas Bride, by the way.
Oh, nice.
So we're watching through that, and I'm like, I love this show. Like just watching it all over from the beginning. I'm like, this is why I fell in love with it, because like the world is awesome, and like even now season 4, I'm not watching it. I want to binge it because I'm very impatient, and I just want to watch everything. So, but I see so many great things, and the fights look even crazier, and the art is amazing, and the writing's phenomenal. It's just a really good show to watch. Like no matter what age you are, or in like you don't even have to be a fan of anime. That's the thing. It's like my uncle like heard of this show. He's like, "What's the guy, the one that looks like a worm?" I'm like, because he saw him in the sleeping bag, and so it's yeah. So because I was very confused at first. I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, are you sure you saw the right show?" But it's like people are talking about it, and like no matter what age they are, so it's like it's so cool.
Man, no, that's a good point, because like at a convention, I can't tell you how many people have come up and we'll start talking My Hero, and I'm like, oh, what other shows have you watched? And they're like, My Hero. Like either that's like the only anime that they watched, or that's the anime that got them into other anime.
Yeah.
And so because and when people like kind of ask about it, I'm like, well, do you like superheroes? And everyone likes superheroes. So I'm like, well, it's just a superhero show that just happens to be an anime.
Right.
And so there you go. And I think that's part of why it's so successful.
How do you feel about?
Well, I've been asking the general question because I work for a newspaper for general audiences, Orange County Register, LA Daily News, and my question has been to everyone so far. Picking up where you guys were talking about just now, why the show is becoming so popular? What you think the reasons are that it has succeeded? Superheroes obviously play into it, but is there more specific reasons that you feel fans have kind of made this the huge runaway success that it is?
I think it's because of how awesome Denki Kaminari is.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Right? Write it down. No. I mean, that's the funny answer, but the real answer is just how unique and fun and different the characters are. It's a big cast, but it does not feel homogenous or samey really at all. Everyone has their own unique either power, personality, story. Like it's all very different and fun, and it works well together. And that's my answer. You have to say something completely different.
Kyle, I feel like it's it feels realistic in a way. Like if in our world, if we had quirks or powers, they have drawbacks to them. So that seems like it would be more real. Like nobody's overpowered, or they are too super to. They're automatically stopping all the bad guys. It's like like everybody has a weakness because just because they have a quirk doesn't mean they're not human. So I feel like it's more relatable, and people enjoy that because when they have an overpowered superhero, they kind of like, oh, he's just gonna save the day. Here's the same old. But with here, your super villains and your super villains have like really big weaknesses, but they're really powerful, and your heroes are struggling through their weaknesses so they can be more powerful. So it's a really cool dynamic, and that's what makes this show so freaking good. Sorry.
No, that's good. Well, and I think it kind of to your same point is the quirks are very unique. Like it's not just fireballs, and there is some like electricity, some more standard stuff that do have their downsides, but there are some super unique powers like Jiro's like earphones. It's like that has never been done before. So it's like you get those really cool, unique stuff too. That I think is kind of how it really would be in real life. Because like if it is like an evolution of kind of how people would develop kind of powers like that, it wouldn't be like I fly, I do this, I'm strong. It would be kind of weird stuff like that. Like I'm invisible all the time. I think it would kind of develop like that. So I think you that was a good point of it being realistic. You can kind of grab onto it a little easier.
To follow up on your character being the most awesome.
Yeah.
How are all the fans going to react if you turn out to be a traitor?
I think it's going to be awesome because here's the thing, all right? No. We talk about how no one's overpowered, right?
Right.
What if the derp overusing his quirk is an act? He is the traitor. He's been acting this whole time, and he's really just this incredibly powerful electricity user. He would immediately become the most powerful quirk user in the show.
That's actually really funny because following the fandom seems to either point the finger at who is it, Bakugo or Ochako, but I think Kaminari, if that were to be true, would make for a pretty overpowered.
I think that'd be great. And the artist, what would you call it? Prelim art or whatever you call that. Have you seen that? Where Denki looks really like evil. He's got his like spiked hair and he looks like a bad guy.
I think you posted that.
And so like it's like maybe that's what he was thinking. So like I think it'd be great. I think it would break a lot of hearts because he is just a sweet goof. So I think if he is the traitor, most likely it would have been like an accident or something, But I think it'd be great for him to turn into a villain because I love playing villains. So I think to have the fun Kaminari and then like, the second half of the show he's evil. Like I think that'd be great.
That's like ideal.
Yeah.
The whole gamut.
That would be really interesting.
Emotions.
I'm down.
Character.
Let's make it happen.
My question for the two new members of our cast here is, and I know you said you started binge watching it, but I mean, if you're going to see the show, what character draws you in the most out of the core cast? Because I know originally in our earlier interviews we talked about our favorite characters bouncing around. Mm-hmm. Currently, what are you guys
Well, again,
There's a right answer here, guys.
Oh my god.
It's Denki.
So Katsuma has a very serious man crush on Deku, and so I think that, and also being able to meet Justin in real life, I'm like, oh my god, you're amazing. Like, I think it's totally valid. So at the moment, I gotta stick with Deku.
That's fair.
I gotta stick with Deku.
Froppy.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love Froppy because she's so different. I'm like, she's a frog. She's so cute. Oh, like just everything about her. She's just like, I'm just here, me and me.
The fandom seems to think so too, so you're not alone on that one.
Yeah, oh my god. As soon as I saw her on screen, I said, I love her. I want her to be my friend. Please. No, and I love Monica Rial. Oh my god, she's fantastic. That she has to be my favorite, hands down. I don't know. There's a couple new characters coming up that I'm really liking, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be hard. Don't make me fight.
I'm excited to hear Zeno. I haven't heard Zeno yet.
Me neither. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yes.
So, are you and your character Denki Kaminari similar in any way?
Yes.
And you studied the personality closely through the Japanese voice acting and the manga, or did you mix up a little bit of yourself in your interpretation of the character?
Oh no, I just looked at him and I was like, this is my voice. No, like, so I auditioned for Bakugo, Shigaraki, and Kaminari, and it's a common tactic for directing is you kind of, when you cast someone, rather than like people are like, hey, can you do the Kaminari voice? And I'm like, I'm doing it right now. Like it's a common tactic for directors to like, I want Danny's voice, I want Maxey's voice. You know, it's I'd say more rare than not to actually have him like kind of put on some kind of voice. So Kaminari is just kind of me, kind of excited, and that's kind of how I do it. And then yeah, he's just a lovable goof like me.
So you said that you try to cast for specific roles. Why were they specific roles? Bakugo, Kaminari, and this one was it?
Shigaraki.
Why those three?
I like villains. I like villains. I want to play villains so bad, but I'm too nice of a guy, and I think it comes out.
Yeah, a little bit.
And Bakugo, I like yelling, but it's hard to compete with Cliff with Bakugo. I think if anyone else was Bakugo, it would have been weird. But yeah.
Thank you.
You guys.